everybody. Welcome to another episode of About 30 Minutes. I'm your host, Chad Shoemaker, and today we are thrilled beyond belief to have a longtime friend of Our City Productions with us. It is the extremely talented, very fun Wilma Mullet. Welcome, Wilma. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for that introduction. Thank you.
Very nice to have you on today. I'm surprised it took us this long.
It's okay. I was pretty busy, so
Okay.
yeah.
So it's wow. We have known you here for pretty much since we opened.
Yeah.
So it's been about we've had I'd like to say a 3-year friendship.
At
with
least,
you.
yes.
And we've done a lot of fun projects for TAP, which is who you're associated with.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with this. Let's do a little background. Now, you are a lifetime citizen of Tuscarawas County, correct?
That's correct.
For the most part.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Tell us a little bit about where you're from and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm originally from the Mineral City area. So grew up like 2 minutes from Atwood. My family owned a farm out there. So the Levengood clan, that's all out there. Levengood. I'm the Levengood. So,
Okay.
but I grew up on a farm that my family had owned, and then we moved to New Philly. So grew up on the south side of New Philly and always attended, I went to Indian Hills Christian School and then to New Philly public schools starting middle school, and just kind of grew up my career throughout that time in New Philly until I went to college and studied at Mount Union and all that stuff. But I've been back in the area for a few years now and married with my husband living in Dover. So
Now,
yes.
wow, Indian Hills. I hadn't thought about that for a long time. They were out of, was it First Baptist?
Yes, it's the one off of Commercial out
Yeah,
there. So that
okay,
big
yeah.
church out there. Yeah. So I went to a private Christian school out there. So
Okay,
yes.
all right, very good. And your husband from the area as
He's
well?
actually from Holmes County. So
okay.
the Walnut Creek area was
Oh.
where he grew up and stuff, but he's lived in Tuscarawas County for, oh my goodness, maybe 12 years or something at this point. He lived in New Philly in a couple of different apartments, then finally got a house in Dover, so
Okay.
which is where we currently are. So yeah.
All right. Now you are with Tuscarawas Arts Partnership.
Yes.
And this is one of those organizations that it seems like you see something going on everywhere for TAP. I mean, you folks do a lot in this county. Tell us a little bit about, really, I guess, for the uninformed, what is it that TAP is and what it does, what it's all about.
Yeah, so Tuscarawas Arts Partnership, or TAP, we are a 501c3 nonprofit arts council, and our mission is to cultivate and support the arts landscape throughout Tuscarawas County. And an arts council, which is something that I love telling people about because it's such a niche in the arts sector. An arts council focuses on the 3 pillars, which is advocacy, education, and funding. The advocacy pillar focuses on advocating for arts and culture to be present in our communities, in our schools, making sure that there's dedicated funding and resources for arts and culture to thrive and be in their places. Education, being that we educate people about the benefits of arts and culture in our schools, and there's even workshops and things that artists can take that can help elevate their creative businesses. So education is really kind of broad in that sense of like educating the public about the benefits of the arts or our local governments, but also providing support for education in the arts. And then the funding side of things, which is really where I'm heavily focused on as well, is being able to provide funding sources for arts and culture to be in our communities. So that's through grants and dedicated revenues for the arts in our area.
Now, we've seen some of the programs that have come through just a few weeks ago. By the time this airs, it'll be a couple of months ago. We covered the Adelante Arts,
Yes.
which was, I mean, we've seen it now. I think we've covered the last 2 for you, but this was number 3
4.
or 4. Okay,
Yes.
all right. That program, I mean, you talk about something that gives us, I really think it's bragging rights for Tuscarawas County for, a program like this that reaches out to the Latino community. I mean, it's really, tell us a little bit about that. I mean, because I can't even It's youth oriented. It's a welcoming program. I mean, it's really fantastic. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the Adelante Arts Camp, when it started 4 years ago, it started, so Jeff Bray and I had a conversation about the local Latino community, the Mayan community, because I wanted to learn more about it. So he knew a lot of information about them. So and this was over COVID and stuff. So this was over Zoom that we were like having this like mini presentation, me asking questions and stuff. But he and I brainstormed on how cool would it be if we can do like a program or a project, in this case a project where it elevates the presence of the local Mayan and Latino community. And that's really how the Brighter Together mural started, which is the one in downtown New Philadelphia, right on the Mad Bros wall right there.
Right.
So we pulled in a couple of donors, and Kathy Tustin and Jorge and some other individuals to be a part of the project. And it was like a merging together of the traditional textile quilting pattern that we see in our area of Ohio,
Right.
and the bright colors and the symbolism of like patterns and the colors of like the Mayan outfits that they wear, the cortes de huipos and all those like pieces or articles of clothing. And we made it youth focused, so giving them an opportunity to learn about making a mural and public art. So it ended up being a really great structure as a summer youth arts camp for the Mayan Latino youth. And it actually inspired for us to continue it and exploring more mediums of art. So the following year, which is when we actually called it the Adelante Arts Camp, we did photography and being able to put everything together in a book. So there's a book that you can also rent from the library. So Tuscarawas County Public Library has a copy, and Dover Library has one. So there was a book that was made, and there was also a photo display exhibit that toured around Tuscarawas County as well. And it was just another way of using art to be able to share the youth's like life growing up in Tuscarawas County as both Mayan culture and residents of Tuscarawas County.
It's really something, because I'll tell you, it reminds me so much of, it's almost like the bringing together of a bygone era of school programs. You know, when I was growing up, I can remember, you know, our teachers would get us together and we'd have a Christmas program or a spring program. It was part of the basic package of education where, you know, you perform either, you know, you're either doing music or you're doing art presentations and that kind of stuff at the elementary level. And ultimately we would do those things in middle school and high school. It almost seems like those kind of things have sadly kind of been pushed to the side, as unfortunately often happens with the arts.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, it's not one of those things that's tested and all that kind of stuff. So
Well, and the arts are unfortunately the first things to get cut.
first things to get cut. And now we have not just a program like this coming back that the community can enjoy, but it's for a specific group that has, I mean, you definitely see a rise in the population, the Latino population in the last 10 to 15 years. And it's like something old has become new again.
Yes.
With that.
Yes.
And it's such, I mean, I've seen the program now 2 years in a row, and it's really been impressive. So, and you can clearly see that the kids are having a good time, and it's a chance for them to shine.
Yes.
And it's just, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and what's great too is that there's, like with our program and even some of the other programs that we're involved in, it takes a collective effort. So it's not just like the work that like I myself do. It's like, especially in Adelante, we have interpreters that we pay that are our community ambassadors that help build trust in the community and just like help us with the relationships building and stuff. So like, Cheryl Rieger, Ernesto, and Ahanel and Geronimo Ramirez, they are like really important members that have been a part of this program as well, that really credit should be to them as well for just wanting to bring something special for their community.
Yeah.
And being able to showcase like this is like a very like what they are is incredible, and they should be proud of who they are, and something that we get to celebrate with them.
It's really, it's a great program, and if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be coming back.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
And with the emphasis on
Culinary arts.
that is incredible.
Yes.
So
Yes. And we're already thinking about 2026 and 2027 too. So there's already like almost 3 years worth of programming we're thinking about here. So
now that's not the only program that TAP has had. One of the big ones that we've had the pleasure here at our city of seeing unfold over the last couple of years has been the Love Tusk project, and that is, I've got to say, to see that happening, to go from the planning stage, and of course we got the joy of watching you just go, this is going to be great, to, oh my gosh, are we ever going to be able to do this? I think this is okay. We did it. You know, that's one of those things. And that
wow,
was a fast forward.
That is a great summary of the entire experience of 3 years.
So,
but yeah, no, it's been, oh my goodness. Definitely one of the biggest projects I've ever been a part of. It took a lot of patience. It took a lot of collaboration. And I mean, there was a combination of celebration and anxiety tears that all went into everything.
Yes.
And it's just like now it's out there for our community. 19 total sculptures around Tuscarawas County. And that's something that you don't really see anywhere else.
Right.
Too. So
it's very unique. And I mean, the response that we have seen has been very positive and very, I mean, it's fun. It's a very, very fun project. And not only does it unite the county, but it also gives each individual area bragging rights to, you know, hey, we did this one, it's one of 19, but this is us.
Yes.
You know, this one is us. So
Yeah.
just really, really something. I mean, and if you haven't gone out to see this yet, what are you waiting for? You know.
Yeah.
So,
it makes it the biggest scavenger hunt that you can really find in our area. So
yes. And I think it would be, I would assume it would be almost like a 2-day event.
At least. Yeah.
So.
It's, if you were to combine the miles, it's about 100 miles to go from point A to point however many, like from the north to the south end of things. So that could be a very adventurous like biking path too.
Yeah.
So
it's very obvious though through these projects that you are very passionate about art
Yes.
and people.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your personal background with art.
Yeah. So I grew up always, like whenever I was really little, I knew I wanted to be an artist. Like I saw like a Bob Ross like session before like on TV and I would like draw all the time. I would paint all the time. And there was a time whenever I was in elementary school and it was career day, I wore my mom's old denim jacket, put paintbrushes in my hair, and brought in an oil painting that my great aunt Olive did. And I went into the classroom telling people I'm going to be an artist someday. So that has just always stuck with me. I always knew that I had a passion for art and just really seeing how much joy it brings to other people. And that's a part that I really enjoy, is just like being able to create something and be able to give it to someone and just letting that speak volumes for them, because I just want to bring like some sort of joy or happiness to them through that.
What's your personal favorite type of art, if you could pick a medium?
Oh, geez. So my specialty is in drawing and painting, but lately I've been doing a lot of, I work on portraits. So, like, portraiture is pretty much my bread and butter, what I really enjoy doing. And a lot of the reason behind that is, like, it's funny because I'll stare at people, like I'm people watching, but that's because I'm paying attention to every wrinkle and, like, what your hair is doing, like, on your eyebrows and all that stuff.
Right.
So very detail-oriented, but what I really am drawn about with portraits, and especially with, like, my style for, because I'm more towards the drawing side of it, is that you get to see the humanity of people whenever you just take a moment to like put that together. So whenever I'm like right now, whenever I do trivia at Hoodletown on Thursdays, I do hoodle doodles on it is just blue pen drawings on napkins, and I give it to people. Like, so there's probably, if anyone's watching, they received a hoodle doodle, hey, you're part of my thing that I do. But I just like to see the humanity of people. And so I use drawing as that way to kind of like bring that back, because I have always had that spirit of like wanting to know what people are going through and understand them, and just be able to like not like, I mean, I don't know. It's just the way that I look at people and that I see them as human beings. And whenever I draw them, it's just me trying to find a way to take what I feel and put it into something and be able to share it with people, or it's just something that I collect in my sketchbook.
Yeah, it's funny how that. I mean, I also think about, when you were talking about the Hoodle Doodles. I'm one that when I was a little boy, I drew all the time.
Yes.
And my big thing was, I really wanted to be a cartoonist.
Yes.
And I still, to this day, there are people that I work with at previous jobs, and there are folks at my other job that I have that I've done drawings of, and I just give it to them.
Yes.
And it's like, and it cracks them up. And I have people who will tell me they still have them, after all this time. But I guess, so with TAP being such, I mean, really, truly, it is a big deal in the county. What does one have to do to get involved? I mean, where are there volunteers? I mean, you said there's programs. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so there's a few different ways that people can be involved. So like Art on the Alley is one of our biggest programs, and it requires the most amount of manpower to be able to happen because, believe it or not, it takes a combined over 400 hours, man hours, to be able to make Art on the Alley happen. And that's everything from my end of doing like all the prep work related things of like what's behind the computer to the entire weekend of being able to like set up chairs and placing trash cans, going around and making sure our vendors are okay and stuff. So all that work is always because of people and our volunteers. Right. So if you ever want to volunteer for Art on the Alley, that's certainly one of our heaviest programs where we need volunteers. But we also are a working board. So if you want to serve on a committee or be a part of the movement that's happening with our organization, you can also serve on our board of directors as well, which right now we are accepting like applications for like 2025's board positions.
Okay.
But also we only are able to do what we can because of generosity of our donors. So if you're someone that maybe you don't have the time to be able to, but you would like to be able to contribute, whether an annual donation or a monthly donation, and the monthly donation could be $5 a month, and that's local investment in Tuscarawas County. That's certainly something that we can help support, would help support us as well.
You've got an Art in the Alley coming up.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so here's a chance to plug.
Yes.
Give me a date.
Sunday, October 13th.
Okay. How many is this?
This will be event number 13.
And it's usually twice a year,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes, we had it closed one May 2020 when COVID happened, but this is our 7th season, event number 13.
Wow. How have numbers changed?
Wow,
in that
it's
time?
grown a lot over the years, and again, credit to our community for all the incredible support for showing up because people are showing up and buying art and supporting our makers and merchants and all that. That's the only reason that Art on the Alley continues to grow year after year. Then, of course, all of our artisans and makers for everything that they've been able to do to want to be a part of the festivities. I mean, Art on the Alley wouldn't happen without both the artists and the community.
I can tell you that the past few that I've been to, and I think I've missed a couple of them, it's been wall to wall.
Yes.
I mean, it's crazy how many people are there, but it's also, I mean, just the creativity that comes out of people in this area.
Yes.
I mean, when you see these folks selling their wares, some of it I just look at and I go, my gosh, this is coming from Tuscarawas County.
Yeah, we've grown that much that it's not only just Tuscarawas County, but word is spreading from outside as well.
Wow.
So we are even bringing people down to it as well.
Right.
There's people that I've met that are from the Akron area, and they purposely put it on their calendar so that they don't miss an Art on the Alley.
Yeah, because this is not like just a kitschy, crafty type of thing. I mean, this is a lot of impressive pieces of art of all different kinds, jewelry and leathercraft. And, I mean, you've got musicians going there. You've got, I would even go so far as to say some of the food vendors, and you said like, Adelante Arts is going to be doing culinary. Some of the folks that we're bringing in, we're seeing with food. That's art in itself, some of the stuff that they come up with. I mean, it's great. It's really great. Not to mention the participation of the folks in the shops, the established businesses that are there. It's a welcomed event.
Yes, and I think that's the thing that we try to tell people. Like as an arts council, our mission is to make sure that we cultivate and support the arts landscape in our region in Tuscarawas County. But some of the messaging too is to say that you can be a 9-to-5 person and you can still be an artist.
Yeah.
And art isn't just something that's meant as an elitist activity. And that's something that really we're not seeing much of anymore because it is so community focused.
Right.
So there's a lot of overlap with seeing how the arts bring people together, to bring community together. And you really want that to spread because when people are brought together, they get to accomplish a lot more together. And that's really the beauty of like arts and culture and being able to celebrate all of it. And it's like, I mean, it's your fine arts, it's your performing arts, it's also your museums, because that's element of culture, celebrating another like culture like the Mayan community, and creativity of all sorts, because there are fine craftsmen, but there are people that are very talented with music. So really the definition of arts and culture is very broad. And it's not just limited to one particular medium to say, oh, that's art. It actually is bigger and overlaps into a lot of different areas.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the art not being elitist. You know, I never really thought about that, but you know, I think there is sometimes that perception. Yeah. That in order to appreciate something, you know, you have to bust out the monocle and
or people think that they can't be an artist themselves, or it's like just because you can't, like you can only draw a stick figure and you can't say that you can enjoy the arts and stuff. Like, I mean, we have incredible venues here. I mean, like the Pack and the Little Theater and Trump in the Land, and even like Waterford Players that's starting up in Yorksville. Like there are a lot of like grassroots initiatives for people to really tap into their creativity. Plug in with the name, right? You saw what I did. But really though, there's so many different resources out there to really find where your niche is. And even if you don't have maybe a artistic bone in your body, that doesn't mean you can't appreciate it or you can't support anyone else either.
It makes me think of, you know, when I was in college and doing, you know, we had to. We took art courses, definitely, and then one was in art appreciation, and they took us to a museum. Oh my gosh, it had to have been in Akron. And one of the things that really struck me was it was anonymous artwork, but it was wire bending. And they would find these things in the streets of Akron, these incredible, and they had to be unbelievably long pieces of wire that had been bent into these fantastic organic shapes.
Wow.
And they had no idea who was doing them.
Yeah.
And here they are sitting in a museum, and it's like, you have no idea, is this a person who is homeless? Is this a person who is, you know, a true, you know, like, quote unquote true like artist or something like that? Is this, you know, and it was really something. I was really taken aback by that, just by the time that it would take to do something like that.
Yes.
But man, it's amazing how many, you know, I think a lot of people still tend to have that picture in their mind of the artist as being, you know, we've got the beret, we've got the palette and the brush, and you know this kind of thing.
Yes.
But there's so many ways to express.
Yes, there is, and the thing is, like, we want to always elevate our creatives and our artists. So we always want to make sure that they have a presence in our communities and that they are valued for the vision and the work and the creativity that they have, that they want to give to people. And we have so many very amazing. But I mean, they are incredible artists that are here in Tuscarawas County that are making a difference in our communities. And the work that they do, there are like some people where it's like, man, I feel that. I feel the work that they create. But also I don't think you should ever discredit yourself if you're someone that maybe you don't pick up your guitar like all the time and like do gigs all the time, but it's like your own outlet. And that's really like where like my art has gone, because I've done like a lot of like pieces for like shows and making commissions for other people, but I've given that a backstage at this point because I'm really creating for myself and really trying to let that be a part of like my voice by keeping it to myself for right now, and that's okay too.
Do you use art as stress relief and as kind of a coming down at the end of a day?
Yeah, so stress relief, definitely. Yeah, it's stress relief, or maybe it stresses me out. It's like, God, I can't get that right. Like, why can't I get it right? No, it's a little bit of like, or sometimes I just see something, I'm like, and I have the urge to draw it. So, I mean, it's like something that's compulsive where it's like, okay, I just need to pull my sketchbook out or a napkin right here and just draw it out real quick. Or it's just something where it's a piece that I'm creating for myself to find healing in like finding healing, finding some solace and peace and stuff like that's usually where I find like where my art goes right now.
You got a top 5 artists of all time for yourself?
Artists of all time?
Yes.
Oh, that's really hard. I always go, well, my number one always is Van Gogh, like just his style and his story. Mm-hmm. And actually, if anyone has ever seen the movie Loving Vincent, I've watched that several times. Mm-hmm. It's so moving and really incredible how they had each panel as an oil painting. Like, it's just a true masterpiece, but also brings the humanity back to Van Gogh.
Is that documentary?
Not really a little bit of a documentary. It's a very creative way of doing a documentary, but it tells the story of like a man that's trying to send a letter to Vincent's brother, but he retraces Vincent van Gogh's life, like in the last like couple months that he had been alive. So yeah, it's a really moving. You have to watch it a couple of times. The first time you're just enthralled by each frame is an oil painting, and you're just caught up in that. Then you have to watch it again for the plot. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. Do we have any plugs?
So obviously, Sunday, October 13th is Art on the Alley. Mm-hmm. So anyone that wants to come to that, please come support our program. But also if you want to volunteer, we're always looking for volunteers for that weekend. So you can check our website for volunteering. But also a very special plug, as we have just very recently announced, it is our 10th anniversary for TAP. And so we decided to make our anniversary year something very special. So we are doing a campaign called Arts Yet to Be Imagined.
Okay.
And Arts Yet to Be Imagined is really looking at the endless possibilities that can happen in 10 years for arts and culture in Tuscarawas County. So we are celebrating our 10th anniversary, celebrating everything we've been able to accomplish as an organization, but also opening the possibilities of what's yet to come.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Very
Arts Yet to
cool.
Be Imagined is our theme. And in 2025, which we'll be announcing like some of the schedules and stuff throughout October, we have some really exciting programs coming back. So actually one that was a favorite that we'll be bringing back is the Arts Thrive program, which is our professional and business development workshops for artists and creatives.
Oh, okay. All
yes. Right. So that'll be coming in March. So, and I also want to credit First Federal Community Bank for their support with our program. And so we're excited that we'll be hosting it at the financial center in Dover at their space. We also have children's workshops we'll be doing during the summer, so that will be something really fun. It'll be in New Comerstown, Yorksville, and either Strasburg or Bolivar. We're narrowing down that detail, but we're looking outside of Dover, New Philly for bringing children's workshops and arts. But also just some fun kickoff events and an arts passport, so people will actually get this like little passport with QR code. They could do an online passporty experience with our events and with the Love Test sculptures and a whole bunch of stuff. So it'll be very fun.
That's excellent. Well, that all sounds fantastic. I mean, that's quite a lineup.
Yes.
So
yeah, 2025 is going to be a very big year for us.
I was going to say it's going to be very, very busy.
Yes.
So one of the questions that we usually wrap up with when we on the podcast here, how do you live Tusk?
You know, I try to think about that question, and I'm always changing my answer.
That's
so
fine.
I think to live Tusk, how I live Tusk is really doing everything I can to elevate experiences for people that they don't think that they could have a possibility of having. Mm-hmm. So that's why I focus a lot on arts and culture, because I think that's something that anyone and everyone can be a part of, and I just want to be able to bring that and highlight that for Tuscarawas County, really showing like what's really special about us that you can't see anywhere else. Mm-hmm. But then also just saying like, hey, just because it's happening somewhere else doesn't mean it can't happen here, and we can make it our own. So I live Tusk by just looking at the possibilities instead of the limitations. And so that's really what makes me live Tusk every day.
That's fantastic. Perfect. Very good answer.
Thanks.
So nicely done. Well, Wilma, thank you so much for coming along today. So it was good to see you. It was good to sit down and talk to you.
Of course.
And I'm sure that we will cross paths again here on
definitely.
About 30 Minutes, because TAP does so much in the community, and we're always eager to find out what's coming up next.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
thank you for coming.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for another episode, and hopefully we will see you next time. Take care. This episode of About 30 Minutes was brought to you by Rodriguez's House of Stones. Since 1976, the House of Stones is the premier jewelry store in New Philadelphia, Ohio. When you visit our store, you'll find loose diamonds, engagement rings, fine jewelry, custom jewelry, and pieces by the most famous jewelry designers. Rodriguez's House of Stones, where Tuscarawas County gets engaged. Live Tusk strives to create a community of young adults living and or working in Tuscarawas County, Ohio, by assisting opportunities for social interaction and networking. We provide an awareness about the resources, activities, events, art, outdoor rec, education, and career opportunities in Tuscarawas County to encourage positive engagement about the quality of life in this area. We believe in a future where our community is a beacon of opportunity, known for its strong sense of belonging and exceptional quality of life. Our City Productions is a one-stop shop for professional quality and affordable video production, photography, social media management, and video conversion and archiving. Be sure to visit us at ourcityproductions.com and follow us on Facebook.